You are too readable, too approachable, too hungry to win. You enter a room and your nonverbal cues beg for acceptance. When nothing is, you grin. Humorous. When you disagree, you nod. You talk nervously to break the silence. Because the silence's weight makes you feel insignificant. The world is aware of this. By nature, humans are predators. You don't have to be evil to detect vulnerability. All they have to do is be human. When they feel that you long for their approval, they naturally stop respecting you. You are placed in a box. The container of the pleasant man, the safe person's box, the servant's box. And after you are safe in that box. Moreover, men who are harmless are disregarded. However, there is a distinct type of presence. A presence that doesn't yet demand attention, demands it with such unwavering confidence. People are afraid of it since it is so heavy, not due to its violent nature, but also because it is unidentifiable. It is the self-assurance of a man who is no requirement for the trib's consent because he has established his own realm. Machiavelli was aware of this secret. He said it in a whisper to kings and princes in the shadows of Italian courts. He was aware that to reign, it is not necessary to pursue love. Love is erratic. Love is a decision, yet terror, awe-inspired reverence. That's a chain that is unbreakable. Right now, we are not discussing self-worth. We are not discussing optimistic thought. We are conducting an autopsy on your present personality, excluding the weak tissue as well as stitching in the attitude of a monarch. You're going to discover how to develop psychological. Horrifying. However, be advised that once you can't go back after you cross this line. You'll be treated differently by others. The coziness of being with the guys will disappear to be replaced by the distance of reverence. If you would rather be at ease with being disregarded, go now. However, if you are prepared to take the lead in moving the fragments as opposed to the one being relocated, pay close attention. This is the unfinished loop. The cause of your weakness is not due to your lack of strength. It's because power is leaking from you. You're bleeding. Authority in 7 different ways each. Just one day, put an end to the bleeding and the pressure increases. When the pressure develops, you become powerful. Now let's get started. The procedure. The first rule is to kill the pleasant man you've been pre-programmed with. A falsehood. Since you were a young child, you were informed that if you are kind, the world will be pleasant again. That if you're courteous, you'll be rewarded. That if you'll be safe if you abide by the rules. Take a look at your life. Does it function? Or are those who disobey the rules winning? Are those who steal what they desire making progress? According to Machiavelli, a guy who wants to pursue a career in, there must always be goodness in everything. Come to grief among a large number of people who are not excellent. In other words, if you play by the niceness guidelines in a game where if someone else is trying to gain power, you will be destroyed. Being nice is a survival tactic. For the frail, it is an appeal for forgiveness. It declares, I won't harm you. Please do not harm me. Previously, it was submission. The fight has already begun. Terrifying self-assurance starts when you use civil instead of lovely. There's a distinction. Being polite is a decision. It is a set of rules you set for yourself, due to your discipline. Being kind is a reaction. It is an unfamiliar reaction to steer clear of conflict. The terrifying man is civil. He keeps the door open. He talks calmly. He is polite. However, behind his eyeballs, there's a wall. He isn't carrying it out to get your approval. He is carrying it out because he has high expectations for himself. The civility disappears if you cross him, not into anger, but into cold. When you Give up striving to fit in. You become erratic. Additionally, unpredictability is the source of psychological fear. Consider of the overbearing boss. He is unpleasant but not frightening. You are aware of what he desires. He wants to express his frustration. He is a little boy. Now consider the boss who never gives increases. His tone, the person who looks at you in complete quiet when you commit a mistake. The person who speaks slowly, quietly, and smiles without furrowing his brows. That man is scary. Why? Since I have no idea what is planned. I have no idea where you stand. He's separated his feelings from the engagement. To become this, you have to, by default, cease grinning. Take note of yourself for a week. How frequently when you're unhappy, do you smile? How often do you laugh at a joke that, isn't that funny? This is obedient, communicating. It serves as a biological signal to, you are not the room's alpha. Danger. Give it up. Maintain a neutral expression. Allow your gaze to fall on individuals without hurrying to comfort them. When you cease, indicating surrender, individuals will feel uneasy at first. Are you okay? Are you mad? Is a question that the change is the discomfort they experience. In authority, that's them acknowledging they can't read you anymore. You've developed into a closed book in an open room. Publications. The vacuum of the second law. Quiet. The majority of individuals are dependent on sound. The pause terrifies them. Observe the conversation between two insecure individuals. They overlap. They cut you off. They hurry to fill each millisecond of empty space. Because it feels judgmental to remain silent. They are hurling words into the air in order to construct a bridge. In desperate need of connection. The mentality of Machiavelli does the reverse. He makes the emptiness. It's not empty to be silent. Being silent is a vacuum, and a vacuum is hated by nature. When you don't say anything, you make a psychological weight. All right, other people who are anxious will rush to break the silence. They'll disclose statements they didn't intend to make. They will bargain against themselves. They will give you authority simply to make the stop being awkward. This is how you make this a weapon. When someone poses a inquiry, don't respond right away. Hold off for 1, 2, and 3 seconds. Observe them. Keep your eyes open, then respond. During those 3 seconds, their brain goes into overdrive. Did I offend him? Is this a dumb question? What is he contemplating? You've caused instability in there. Certainty prior to speaking just one word. When you do talk slower. Speaking quickly is an indication of nervousness. It conveys your fear. You'll be cut off or that you do not believe that your time is valuable enough to assert. Talking slowly indicates that you be prepared to be heard. It indicates that you had nowhere else to go and no one you're afraid of. Consider a monarch issuing a decree. Does he hurry? Does he falter? No. He talks as though everyone is waiting for his punctuation. If someone interrupts you, keep your voice down. Avoid getting enraged. Just quit. Quit speaking entirely. Keep your focus on the individual. They cut you off. Allow the quiet to hang. Allow the room to sense the roughness of their disruption. Typically, they will falter, apologize, or lose your train of thought. Next, you keep going at the same volume, from precisely the same location. You didn't battle for the ground. You just demonstrated that you are the owner of it. The third law, the golden calf should be starved. The calf that is golden is confirmation from outside sources. It is the idol you adore each time you look at your phone, for likes each time you go fishing for, a compliment each time you clarify oneself to an unimportant person. You can't be terrifyingly confident if you have an addiction to being accepted. If I am able to Regulate your self-worth by providing you with A. I own you praise. If I am able to demolish your day by insulting you, I own you. Your feelings are a puppet, are the strings. To frighten, you have to cut the strings. You have to get to a point of without emotion. This does not imply that you are automated. It indicates that your self-perception is a stronghold within. The public is not allowed there. If someone, you think I know that you're a genius. What I am. If someone refers to you as a fool, you believe I know what I am. However, neither the needle is moved by the statement. When you encounter someone who doesn't require your assistance, it's unsettling just like them. We're used to the system of social barter. I confirm I am validated by you. When you choose not to, of that transaction, you turn into a bug within the grid. People will make a greater effort to impress you. They'll attempt to incite for you to receive a response. Additionally, this is the test. Machiavelli stated, he who aspires to deceit will always come across someone who will permit himself to be tricked. Moreover, understood that anyone who aims to provoke will always locate a person who is weak enough to respond. When faced with a difficulty, when you are offended, your natural tendency is to defend, to clarify, to retaliate. Avoid doing so. Defense suggests that the assault hurt. Theory suggests that the accuser has the power to condemn you. Rather, utilize the amplify and agree, or the board looks at him. If someone claims that you're the insecure, haughty man claims, no, I'm just self-assured. I'm not. I've been called, a menacing man declares, worse by better people. Alternatively, he just responds, okay, and returns to his job. If you don't defend yourself, you give. Their weapon is ineffective. You demonstrate to them that their perception of you is worthless. Within your reality, nothing more exists, frightening to a bully or narcissist, rather than a victim who is merely bored with them. The fourth law, the position of the P. Eek. Your body follows your intellect, yet your body manipulates your thoughts as well. You cannot feel in control if you are coiled up like a shrimp. You are unable to feel. Risky if you're downsizing to take up less room. Take a look at yourself. Seated at the moment. Do you have your legs crossed? Tight? Do you have hunched shoulders? Is it your head lowered? Extend. The Machiavellian. The position is open. It reveals the essential organs. It seems counterintuitive. Within a battle, you safeguard your vital signs. However, in social dynamics, baring your chest and stomach conveys a lack of anxiety. It's signs. I don't fear you. I don't have to defend myself. Place your arm on the vacant chair. Spread your legs beside you. When you upright, bearing your weight on both feet, grounded. Additionally, the eyes are the weapon. The majority of humans have scanning eyes. They quickly scan the room, making sure. Exits, examining faces, searching for. This is prey, friends, or dangers. Behavior. A rabbit scans, a deer scans. Learn to move your eyes like a lion does. When you gaze at something, take your time. Lock on. Take in the information when you easily shift your sight to the next objective. As you move, don't stray. Have you ever strolled down a hallway and performed a little dance with someone approaching from the opposite direction? You apologize and they go left. The hazardous man chooses a line and shrinks and strolls down it without glancing at the person's face. He glances over the mat. Where you want to go. Physics and psychology concur that the item with the greatest momentum prevails. When you stroll with total intent, people will naturally step aside to make room for you, will sense your intentions wave and, like the Red Sea, they will split apart. It's vector, not haughtiness. You have a destination. Since they don't, you win the area. The fifth law, the reduction in supplies. We reside in an economy of focus. Focus is the money. The error you make is providing. You are giving away your money for nothing. You respond to texts at all times. You accept every invitation right away. At parties, you remain late. Even when you supply and demand if you're bored, you are worthless because you are constantly present. The prince should be seen, Machiavelli suggested, but to avoid getting too close. Fosters disdain. If you wish to frighten individuals with your significance, you have to become rare. You have to be prepared to leave every negotiation, each and every relationship, in every interaction. The individual who is more willing to give up 100% of the power. If you fear losing she owns you, girl. If you're scared to, the boss owns you if you lose your job. Are terrified of losing the friend friend owns you. You have to put the exit. Depart from the gathering while. Leave the chat. It's still enjoyable. Hang up while it's still fascinating. The phone first. Make an unfinished loop in their thoughts after you depart. Before they finish dealing with you, you make them hungry. They are curious about his whereabouts. Is he attending a meeting? What is he doing? Someone better? You turn into an enigma. Additionally, mystery serves as a fertile habitat for fear and attraction. Don't describe your absence. I must leave. Why? Tasks. That's sufficient. The week. An itinerary is given by a man. Oh, I must go. After feeding my cat, I'll catch up on laundry. Human, dull and boring. The dangerous man simply disappears inside his purpose. This pertains to your feelings. Available as well. Don't discard your trauma on new acquaintances. Don't share your shortcomings with everyone. Maintain your cards against your chest. In an environment where oversharing, the individual who maintains the one with the cards is the one with secrets. Competence, the sixth law, is the only genuine assurance. Everything we possess. Discussed thus far, quiet stance. These are the strategies of withdrawal, but strategies without a basis are just manipulation, and ultimately, manipulation falls apart. To be really self-assured, to be genuinely frightening, you must be risky. I don't mean physically aggressive, despite being physically healthy is beneficial. You have to be competent. You have to be skilled at what you do. Machiavelli told the prince more than that. He advised him to study in order to behave like a king, or to research history, to comprehend the terrain. If you lack competence, your silence is not enigmatic. You're not staring very hard, which is confusing. You must construct a stack, since it's eerie, of evidence. Your mind is not dumb. You can look to see whether you are a loser. Say affirmations to yourself in front of the mirror. But if you haven't succeeded, anything, your mind will murmur. You are a liar. Self-assurance stems from the unquestionable proof of your own capability. It results from hard work. It results from fulfilling commitments to yourself. When you are certain that you can solve the issue, you don't have to. The surgeon is not alarmed when he leaves for work while the patient is bleeding, is composed because he is capable. If you wish to become the greatest and frighten people in the space at something, your work, it might be your capacity to listen. It might be your capacity to evaluate a circumstance. When you talk, you must be correct or you must be contemplative. Machiavelli cautioned that a prince who depends on the counsel of others are easily overthrown. You have to possess your own thoughts. You have to read. You have to reflect and confront your own biases. When strong skill is combined with great quiet, you transform into a monolith. When you talking will be the answer. Look to you in an emergency, and that's the final manifestation of power, not the one who yells the loudest, but the one everyone observes when the structure is burning. The seventh law, the readiness to play the antagonist. Here is the last obstacle, the one that trips All of you are terrified of being the villain. You fear that if you set a border, others will refer to you as self-centered. You worry that if you say no, you'll be called impolite. Fearful that if you are successful, others will let them label you haughty. To be you must acknowledge that you are the ruler of your own life, that in the narrative of another person, you will be the bad guy. You can't prioritize your own life without being let down. Others. It's not conceivable mathematically. If you work for your company, you let your drinking friends down if you don't save your money, the individuals who wish to spend it. If you let yourself down if you don't respect yourself. The people who used to stroll around. Machiavelli wrote, you must, for a prince, hope and compete with. Understand how to make mistakes and utilize it or not based on necessity. Isn't advocating evil. Rather, he is advocating for the right reason, willing to be disliked. Reasons. The frightening man acknowledges his role. He doesn't attempt to persuade the parasite that he makes a suitable host. He just eliminates the parasite. When you cease fearing being called selfish, you turn into, I'm free. Could you assist me with moving this weekend? No, you're really self-centered. If that's how you see it, the conversation is over. You don't owe the world your time. You owe the world your vitality, the ideal circumstances for growth. If preserving your tranquility makes you a villain in the chaotic's eyes, then put on the black cap with pride. As soon as you realize you don't have to, becoming the protagonist in other people's films is. As soon as you are appointed director of your own, how would you phrase this? Together? How do you leave your door as an alternative tomorrow morning? Animal? You don't do everything at once. Change the shape of your conversations. Walk more slowly tomorrow. Wait 3 seconds tomorrow before responding to any inquiry. Tomorrow, don't. Unless you are truly happy, don't smile. Don't be sorry tomorrow for taking up space. You'll encounter opposition. Inner good man, that servant who has been in charge of your life for years, will. They hate us, he will yell. Are acting strangely. Make it right. Allow him to yell. Observe his demise. It will be chilly at first. The atmosphere surrounding you will shift. People won't give you back pats anymore and begin to look you in the eye. The joking will cease and the deference will begin. You'll see that the fear of bodily danger is not what you encourage. The fear of the unknown is what it is. It's the amazement upon witnessing a person who is completely, unreservedly independent. The majority of people are broken up. They are fragments of their parents, fragments of their trauma, fragments of the community. When they witness an entire man, they are shaken by a single cohesive mind. It makes me think of them of everything they are not. That is the outlier's power. You're not here to fit in. You're here to become a landmark, an unyielding, stiff item in a torrent of floating rubble. Machiavelli didn't write for the general public. He penned for the select few who dare to dominate. Do you? Being confident is not an emotion. Is a weapon. Take it up. Use it to murder the servant. Use it to safeguard the kingdom. Become the object of their terror so, at last, you may be the man you admire. If this made you see things differently, then I can only display this in public. I am unable to post some videos for all of them. There are elements of darkness, psychology, things I just can't talk about openly on YouTube without being demonetized or restricted. The algorithm inhibits the strongest details. They are present behind the junction button. You're not if you're still here, similar to the others. Sign up if you haven't. However, if you're interested in what's hidden, press the join button, then enter the level of an architect. You'll unlock unique and censored feed. OS that delve. Explore in the most profound aspects of the human mental state. Most won't. That's the idea.